So, Mike Reese, obviously, we've been talking about the 2026 Business Resilience Index in a more broad terms, but if we sort of take a look at some of the individual industries that are called out as part of the index. So, firstly, financial services. I mean, they really have a culture of resilience built in. But by the same token, they scored really, really well on security, scored really well on efficiency. But where were some of the areas maybe that are a bit more challenged, Mike?
Yeah, so as I read through it, much like you, was not surprised. Security was strong, efficiency was strong. At first, I was a little bit surprised around continuity and why that wasn't higher on the scale. When I thought about it and reflected a little bit, though, I see some of the challenges, particularly as we know, very highly regulated environment, and what we see primarily within this industry sector was kind of borne out within the index. So specifically, we see a lot of continuity really being defined in the context still of IT and technology. It's not really been expanded within the business to focus on continuity across the entire business. It's very much still focused within the silo of our systems, our technology, our security. And so I do think that is a large opportunity for organizations to break through from, yes, we still have to be regulated. Yes, we have to work within that. But how can we bring continuity of our entire business end to end as leaders, not just within that silo of IT and technology?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I would say that, increasingly in financial services customers, our stakeholder is the COO as well as the CIO, because continuity really is a business issue. It's not just an IT issue. And what about what stood out for you, Reese? I mean, clearly, again, innovation, we're seeing lots of great innovation in our financial
Yeah.
services clients, but it doesn't score well in the report for FS.
Yeah, so what we see in the report is that there's a lot of activity going on around innovation, but adoption is still slow within the sector. And again, looking into the detail behind that, you can see that it's due to regulation typically. So they're very cautious naturally about how they adopt new technology and what it means to their compliance position. And we've seen that with our own customers. So we're working with organizations that deliver software into the financial services sector. They've got great innovation in their platform, but it's been quite slow to get it rolled out, mainly because they're just trying to make sure that they're fully aligned with the regulator and that they are not breaking any compliance issues.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I'd agree with that too. And I think that it's such a broad sector, financial
Yeah.
services. I think about the traditional retail banks and the building societies. They're very akin to what's happening in retail.
Mhm.
Again, that branch location, changing what happens in the branch. And actually the kind of transactions that complete all the way through to some of our clients who are doing really high volume trading
Yeah.
in really interesting environments around the world. But actually, we're delivering a lot of that within the UK from a transactional point of view. So, it really is such a broad sector that I think we're going to see pockets of innovation, pockets of great continuity. But yeah, it's interesting if you look at the report in total.